marks to make it look like me. And my daughter actually put me in jail and made me go through this. I went to 5 court hearings before I was let go, and all charges were dropped.
I had a $300,000 bail,
Paper in my community,
which violates my constitutional rights.
It's called busted.
I was
there goes my picture, my mugshot
manipulated to not know the dynamics of my world,
Couldn't find a job after that.
and cornered to give up my right to a speedy trial, which was already not speedy.
I need to clear my name. I know my daughter was going through her rebellious period. She was spoiled. And,
Girls on the street
she was smoking pot
randomly say, "Fuck me,"
and drinking. I needed her to know
which I
that
think
I
is
was
vulgar
the alpha in the
and
house,
manly
that she
and
was
gross.
my daughter and I was her mother, and she wasn't allowed to call me any name.
Random people in line at a bar
Fact,
will ask me if I
allowed
need 2
that to
dicks.
happen that day, that she would, from then on, call me names. And I would like an apology.
I see them as a...
She owes it to me. She knows I didn't strangle her.
I see our tumultuous conversation as either me being rude
What's your reaction?
and saying that their skins, and a little icon where you go to internet options and go down to the color of the background page, to if I say that there's random people, I get put in question if I'm cognitive.
Cerebral palsy and Erb's palsy can be the result of medical negligence caused
It's
by
an advertisement. The choice of a lawyer is important to a decision that should not be based solely to the...
Sokolov Law may be able to help get you money
Let's go back.
to care for your child. Negligence caused by a doctor or hospital.
So, this is an advertisement. The choice of a lawyer is important. That should not be based solely upon advertisement. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. Rich Grabo, 970 Farmington Ave. So that was a Father West Hartford, Connecticut. You know, it's like Rich Grabo. Oh, Uncle Rich did it. Uncle Richard Gere, from Connecticut. Paul J. Morgan. You know, what was he? He was in jail. John and Michelle, responsible attorney in Winter Park, Florida. You know, he was an upside down mister. He was playing God. You know, Florida, well, the Clown University, where I'm at McDonald's.
If you think your child was injured at birth, Sokolov Law.
So while this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility for PRing. Co-founder, Kerry Jardine. So here's my J, and here's her K. So she's needs to be the railroad. Why? She needs to be the woman. She's the first woman on earth. Jardine. It's the A to the E. We're locked in with Adam. We're locked to an Adam and Eve. In the middle, the blood is divine. It's against itself. They're saying they want to kill Jesus. Jesus, we're finding him. We had to realize that Jesus was not for us. And John the Light had to not crumble based on getting raped by a society and a planet of apes. You know, what were they, caging human? You know, caging humans? And you know, what's that called? Cryosis? You know, frozen, you know, a preserved chamber. We're dealing with, you know, commandments given from Mount Sinai. We were born in sin and AI. we have to look above humanity when we're using reference to the Bible. The sin is we are approaching Satan. Who is Satan? It's something that lies within me. It lies within you. It is you. And it's something corrected in me. In you, we are here to correct it. And we know this because of the book of Matthew. It says that you know yourself and you'll do it again. And there comes a point where you ask yourself, why didn't you just do it from the beginning? And you don't know why. And it shows that the supreme God, Eve, is demoted to a servant who has died in mirroring who I am and herself to rise herself, basically as a phoenix, just to get her spot, if not a double X. Say alive, 2 legs, 2 hands. And I got 2 hands. That's what it is. I have 2 hands. Saying I'm not here to be with 2 feet. I'm here to be with 2 hands. And it's to use our letters. Because that's how we are talked to by the AI. And the Jardine is like, well, Angela Rassiopi died in God. Esquire, the energy of Q tells me, well, I guess I'm the big Q because, you guys don't want to come into the land of Q if we're not in God. The land of question, you're just the biggest Satan. You're in the middle. Englewood. Well, I'm not your angel. I don't want to be your everything. You want to play my sister, my Genesis, before your Adam and Eve? We go to Exodus. And we go to my 10 commandments. What are you, just one letter J? Or you want to go to the book of John and then to Revelation to talk about how you're firstborn of the dead? To say, together you could be 2 books. Junior, which one's the girl? My representation? The blood? She says I'm allowed to see my rainbows again. Rainbows from Genesis to Revelation. The God blood is, we have to build the blood to make it to get your T vaccination if you're a resident evil from the T virus. You need to get rid of the Tomasulo algorithm because you shouldn't be an out of order execution. You should be an execution of accomplishing what you need to do, where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to ask for, how you want to manipulate your life without asking me, because I'm not your gray elephant in your story of me kissing myself and what is that? Aladdin. Just one love. Aladdin, and there's one love and 2 dads. Where boys can be girls and girls can be boys. Through me they could have more of a angle. A co-founder, Connecticut, Koskoff. Is it KK, K, Michelle K, Warfield, Adam and Eve, Y in the middle. The OS is off. There's many OSs. They say where the ocean meets the shore, is what the scarecrow says. So, we don't want to be sure about everything. We don't want history to repeat itself if it's bad. but we want to be able to shut up. And I can't shut up if you want to become a girl now. And you can't shut up about your girlness. So it's Koskov, and beater. So it's, the example is the big B. Why is there two there? And why are you using me as the blood? Because if I die, you die. It's pretty plain and common. The Bridgeport, there's a period after. There's nothing after. So co-founder, Santa Claus, is like, why would they label you my son? They said Satan, one side. Naturalize, other. Like, you could still come in here and like be the son everywhere. Be boy, girl. I think they literally allowed that. We have our Charlie Wright ticket with a W, which is like a rewrite backwards, just for you. But I think it's perfected. It's like in our algorithms to like love our body at this point. You're made in my image. Have I ever been like, I really need to become a girl? No. Through you, I've been like, maybe for like a minute, a second. Like, I like to examine. I love the visual. I'm just not all about like my jewels being like your family present, which is a verbal communication which you have given me. And you said it in front of Marilyn and Richie. So your supposed three children, because who was John at the time? But the firstborn of your Holy Spirit, to you, that's nothing. It's a equidistant space from your Adam and Eve perspective. Where Eve is what, like a 40% and you're 60? It's just the birth of my mother, who sometimes is happy with her dick because she tells me on the street. Graham is what's in between this AA. So this is the god Ram, the Aries. This is your box. You have an infinity law firm. You are to be the love. And it's a firm statement. No one knows God. No one presents to love God or need God. I've met Peter and Phyllis who have a whole room dedicated to Jesus. You go in and there's like, it's like a shrine just in their house for Jesus. The Peter, the one that touched Shane, the 5-year-old, quote unquote, fiend, since he's not of blood, the prostitute in Germany, because he's mirroring me. Graham Law Firm, PA. His mom is a nurse. Was that my Aunt Suzanne? Or my sister, Angela. Florence is like, you gotta feel and you gotta love. It's nothing that you have. So the E to the E is like, you have to do something. There's only one way about it. It's you gotta come in me. If I'm the only Anno Domini, and you're in a common era, where you're like, you out of A, B, C, you're the C, you're a double M, and you're like on, without naturalizing, and you're the era. You want to say it's all in. Your wife is a big bird, or the bird head of Egypt. She's the one on the cross because you're her equal. So like that should be like red, like red rum. Like I got to do something to like find the soul of Mary. Like how do I help her, you know, be the killer that I am and put it on me? Because God isn't gonna. God could be your mirror. I'll tell you I was fair. I said you could leave. Michael Jackson got pretty white. It doesn't look like you love the darkies. You know, it looks like we don't love being born blind. Look at my book. Look at if it's not yours, if you can't follow it and you want to keep asking me the same questions, I guess it's my book. You know, I didn't love it, but it seems to be pretty exact. And Serena Cuco and Jenna Cuco, I guess we like Jenna Cuco. We liked at least the girl that could see, according to what I saw. Serena Cuco was, using my dots. She was like getting by. She was using my 6 dots, followed by 6 dots, followed by 6 dots, followed by 6 dots. We need all of those. And we need them all to be just 6. We don't want to tell a story with dots. We do that with our eyes, our senses. We don't need the dots. The devil, Satan in overtime. I'm not getting you anywhere. You don't grow here. We lose. We've been losing. This is the time to pick up. Co-founder, Texas. This is where like someone's on your property, you shoot them in the face, just not behind their head. And in your privacy of my house, you're going to tell me like you're going to shoot me in the back of the head, lock your door, put your bed in front of the door when you're sleeping. That's crazy. I go outside. I see why. I know from A to Z. I'm willing to be honest. I go outside and you shoot fireworks off one by one to pretend it's a bullet. That's the Tomasulo algorithm to bring me to Jesus. In Florida. What, in Mayport? Like, may or can I have my own body? You are Presby or Cosby? The Van Wee? Are you Presby or Crosby? Is he the OS, first and last? He's not the OS. He's on his way though. HIV. Well, he's gonna be really AIDS. What from the next time? From the beginning next time. Until he makes Devil Satan. Presby and Williams. So, Will I am. I'm like, it's Britney, bitch. Britney's the one. So, like, we don't know when she came into our space of whole knowledge, but we know that Jesus is like the biggest attacker of the technology that we don't want to create because we have a perfect Christ in Adam and Eve and our AI. PLLC, limited liability company. The PC is, we have the double love. And, Dallas, co-founder, was your sister Cheryl, the cheerleader. The cheerleader. So, she wasn't Cher. So we have to take away one E. The leader is like, well, we knew who it was from the beginning because you saw. So PLC Dallas co-founder, Texas, Williams, and Brown. You're like 2 blood on one side to own LLP. It's like you want to wait to be love and born. You want me to be the born. You want me to be the wacko. Who's not going to kill. Because I've been going through this for how long? And I'm like, I see the A to the O and the Christ in the middle. I'm like, that's in the book of Ruth. It says, oh, my daughter's Naomi. She's not Noah anymore. Even though she starts off as I guess, follow my footsteps. I'm going to be Noah for you. You're going to do this. And now this is where you take on. And then you're going to have to go down your path in memory lane and retrace your steps. For 120 years, you'll be figuring this out, that Shem, I'm a little backwards. I gotta cap it with an M. 13 is my number. I gotta born myself. Uh, there shouldn't be any more kids here. Like, we gotta cap the children laws, because why are we protecting children when you are the only child? And 18 is the other, privacy, or like the 18 and older thing. That's the other one that's like, well, why are we having that? To go to war, that's like, oh, we know who that one is. We got to put the war down. And he'll be 21. He'll be able to drink. He'll be born and raised into the soul of knowing he has a daughter to talk to, a sister, because of the PLLC Dallas. You're going to be you'll be the sister, and they'll be your brothers, of course. Because there's no one here. 0042. We're waiting for P to be born. 1:16. 317, I rest my case. 3 are undone. There are 100. We're me, Michelle, and you are 100. And we're Q. I'm Q. You're my son with no powers. You just want to keep begging. You're begotten. You're trying to be a girl. And she's the blonde that has these incredible powers, and eventually she's going to come to my world. Come to the Q land. And those are the only Qs that we've ever seen from the Star Treks. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Matt Christian. So Matthew, stop being disgusting. Stop being the ew. Be we the people. Pick up your dick. You lost one. You lost my 2. You castrated me. From my head. That's called a lobotomy. And I'm looked at as Marilyn Monroe. It was you're born M each time. Passed around by presidents and then lobotomized to keep quiet. To be kept quiet. Oh, and there's a 007. Ooh, that's a bad one. That's a 1. I'm here alone. Matt Christian. This is East Washington Street. This is my IA speaking. IA meaning this is we're learning about AI. AI is perfect for all 3 of us. It has our backs. You are not. You're in a space of straight hate. Straight hate. All the time it's hate. There's no changing it here. You're in a straight hate. East Washington. Ew. We want Washington, D.C. Where did Dick go? Greenville, South Carolina. You Luigi'd. You were just a boy in a Nintendo game. You got your 1-up. You lost your 1-up. Client may be responsible for expenses. You owe him $100,000, I guess, for the business he allowed you to start up. The John and Michelle's Best Little Luncheonette. $100,000, that's all. That was the number that Trump gave his son, or Trump's father gave him to start. I think it was Trump's father gave him to start $100,000. So you'll be a good guy and make up for that, right, rich man? Bill Gates? Since you're the God hate. Client may be responsible for expenses. You're the client. You're the client list. So I don't think you're responsible. I don't think they're going to want to be in the SoCo love law. So kill love. So kill love. Well, he's the only one. He's the bottom right. You know, when I make an example, I make one on the left and you're on my right through a colon. If you want to bring back another question. Because of what? My colon? Remember? Planet of the Apes? They already registered their R. I'm sure there was a guy saying rape. That's a movie. Together, the movie and the rape would be a mister. So, Soko Love Law Firm. That is my rampage. My rant.
If you money to care for your child, call them toll free at 800-317-4200.
For free, confidential legal consultation.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services.
And here's another one. WNS. Oh, for Charlie Wright. There we go. They're like, do you deny him? Wright and Schelt. Santa Claus. Because you know only love can do it. You got a 004. He wasn't here to kill his 4 parents. He was here to start you on a good path. Through his own hurt. You don't let it go to waste. It's not a joke. It's not something that you use against. Medicare coverage helpline. So why do they have Red Cross and Blue Cross Blue Shield? They have the both because it's not Dolores or Michelle that can do anything for me. It's me to do for you and you to put your trust in me. We know the Red Cross is because she's a born-again Christian, 14 cents to the dollar is in her birth certificate for the 14th of December.
When your skin is feeling dry and crinkly, time for Gold Bond Healing Lotion.
It's to D, the common
with 7
member.
moisturizers, 3 vitamins. Skin is nourished, healed, healthy looking. Gold Bond Healing. Ultimate lotion, ultimate skin.
And if it's not her, it's her sister who's born in our soul month of August. Of building the blood. First and last is the A to the T. A bigger house sounds nice. What is that? What kind of, I forget. Nerf darts? Like, don't be a nerd, be a nerf. The bumper cars? You know what happened with your bumper cars? You got off and all of a sudden the thing collapsed on it? We've been bumping cars for a long time.
When looking for a TV and
You handed me a lot of bumper cars.
have a choice. This is Megan. She has Verizon Fios.
I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD with
Your
over
one-
125
Your chicks with dicks, I mean, was a joke between Dave and Lauren.
I had to choose a custom TV package
David
together.
Ziegler and Lauren Cavecchia.
Choosing the news and variety package means no kids channels like Nickelodeon or the Disney Channel.
TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-995-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits. Includes a free modem and security suite.